I Don't Get It
Podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast.
You guys, this is the last I Don't Get It podcast for the year of 2020.
And
I say that why do I laugh when I say that? It's like 2020. It's
I
done.
don't know.
Because 2020
guys.
is a
We did it.
laughable year. It's a weird,
And do you know what? I
laughable
just
year.
can't stand when people are like, oh my God, it's a new year. And I'm just like, it doesn't make a difference. I'm so sorry, guys, if you're banking on that 2021, but it's still going to be exactly the same.
2021 might be a little bit bleak at the beginning still.
You're
Lauren, what did sound really mean while
Lauren,
doing
that was so grinchy. A vaccine is just rolled out.
Dad got the vaccine today.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, of course, because he's a frontline. Wow, that's amazing.
It's so amazing. I think it is the coolest thing.
Wow.
That here we are, not even a full year from this outbreak.
It's
But
really
I want to
insane.
see someone with COVID like spit in his mouth and then see if it really works.
Lauren,
Well, he has
you
to get
are
a
so
second
demented.
dose, and of course
Okay.
it works. It's
Okay.
It's over 94% effective.
I
guess. We'll Google that. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, all right. What are our I don't get it's?
Okay, well, I just asked Lauren before we hit record if she wanted a glass of wine. She's like, Ashley's been drinking. She's a drinker now. It's like, well, actually, I have been drinking a little bit more lately, but I haven't like felt buzzed whatsoever. Like
I wasn't judging you.
No,
I
it
also
sounded
haven't
judgy.
I've been picking up also drinking.
I've been picking up also drinking.
Okay, so I think
That
there's-
is
there's
my
two-
new hobby.
Yeah.
I don't know. There has been like more of an appeal, but it has to be because of like this life that we've been living. Because like I
course,
find
you're
it to
in
be
the house.
cozy.
It's more fun.
cozy.
Yeah.
Because during
Yeah.
the summer, I was like so into summer drinks. Like I just liked creating my own summer cocktails, and then I like wanted to do like apple cider and like cozy rum, like spiced rum with cider. And now like I don't know. I just like
Ashley,
now.
who are
Peppermint
you?
chocolate
Remember
spice things?
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, Ashley, you never. So when did this come about? Because I feel like you would always opt for like a hot cocoa this time of year over a cab.
No,
you know?
well, I've been starting to make hot apple cider with the spice of rum in it, and then I put a little cinnamon stick in it, and I feel just like very holiday-ish.
But why did this come about? When did you start drinking? Just because pandemic, you think?
No, you're trying to get your fill.
Oh yeah, we were talking about getting my fill. Well, we were just like, I was like, well, what if I get pregnant and then I can't have it for 9 months?
So you might as well have all the holiday drinks and wine or whatever. But I don't get
that
it.
makes
I'm just kind of
sense.
like indulging in general in life right
Yeah,
now. Like I'm
indulge.
just like, right. I think like this November, December, I've just been like, no. I'm just going to like have what I want. Okay, wait. So the I don't get it that Lauren had was related. Sorry, went on a tangent.
No, wait. Before you get into Lawrence, can we talk about as far as indulging goes? I feel like we've all been wearing the same thing all year.
I wore this last podcast.
You wore that last podcast. I've literally lived, worked out, and slept in this green sweatshirt, and Ashley has not taken off that Baby Yoda PJs.
No, and she walks around with no bra on, just like flailing in the wind.
Excuse me, I have sticky nippies on
I know,
now.
but it's such a thin, like
It is
it's
thin.
such
It
a
does
thin
make my
pajama.
boobies look like
Pause.
kind of saggy.
Pause. Why are you wearing sticky nippies in the house?
Because my dad.
Okay, this is also something. Girls with dads.
This makes
do
no
you,
sense to
do
me.
you like feel the need to put on a bra around your dad? Because I know people are like, it shouldn't matter. That's your daughter. But also, it's creepy.
No, I
show your-
agree,
do you
Lauren.
agree?
But it's like if you're gonna wear something as thin as those pajamas and your nips are gonna be hard, then you throw a sweater over so no one
Thank
sees
you,
it.
Naz.
You don't walk around with sticky
Thank
nippies in the
you.
house like you're in the Nordstrom fitting room.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I'd rather wear a bra than sticky nippies around the house,
Really?
I think. Yeah.
No.
Sticky nippies
Well, I
are
forgot
literally the
my-
most claustrophobic. It's like drowning your nipple.
What?
And yeah, and you take it off and there's a pool. There's a
guys, are
little
you
swimming pool in
joking
there.
me?
Yes.
I
Are you
I
joking?
sleep in my sticky nippies half the time because I forget to take them off.
Ew.
And then like it'll be like
You're gonna get a
24 hours
moldy
later,
nipple,
and I'll be like,
and
whoops.
it's gonna become infected, and you're gonna have no more nipple.
Okay, well, I left my comfy yet supportive Kim's Skim bra in LA, which I'm super annoyed about because I love my Skims bra. And the only one I have here is an extreme push-up. So, like, it's definitely not comfy.
Have you ever heard of the store? It's really new. It's called Target. Buy a new bra. Like,
no, but also
$12 maybe.
What the fuck are the both of you talking about? Are you guys wasted? The bra was canceled this year. There is no bra. You just throw on a sweatshirt. You don't need nippies or a bra.
She doesn't wear big clothes. She doesn't wear big clothes or thick warm
clothes. Oh, that's so true.
Ashley,
you don't.
No.
Ashley,
Bullshit,
you don't have
Ashley.
anything.
Bullshit. You wear
Bullshit.
a crop top.
It's a size small.
A thin, cropped, small shirt, and then maybe
I'll wear sweaters sometimes, but I don't want to have pointy nipples. See, the thing is, like, my nipples, my whole boobie looks like a big triangle without a bra or without a sticky nippy on it.
I just realized your wardrobe is basically
triangle.
Your wardrobe is basically like Regina George, most popular girl in high school. It's like instead of a big ass sweater, you wear like a cropped sweater in the house.
She wears like a size small. When I'm like, give me a
do.
size large.
You do.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm sorry for roasting you.
All right,
but
it's okay. It's okay.
No,
it started
it's cool.
because of wine, though. Wait, what is that? What a second. Lauren's I don't get it was supposed to be
red wine.
She doesn't get red wine, and I certainly do not understand how she's been drinking white wine with Hunter because Hunter only drinks white wine, and I'm like, what kind of man only drinks white wine?
First of all, he'd prefer bourbon first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm obviously not drinking bourbon with him, and then probably beer. I don't want to get like large and bloated, so then we go to his third, white wine, and that's what we drink together.
I just think white wine aside, you should only have it with like pasta and fish, but like red wine is like way better than white wine.
White wine makes me thirsty.
When I think of
Yeah, it
white
makes me
wine,
thirsty too.
I think of like way too sugary, like super tart in my mouth. I mean, obviously
too.
this is like shitty, wines that I've had. I prefer beer. You guys know I like beer better.
I mean, I still am traumatized to this day based on what happened to me 14 years ago in my freshman dorm when I played the Entourage drinking game with a boxed white wine. Okay? It's the first time I threw up. Something happened that night. My friends laugh about it and they giggle about it and they still don't tell me about it.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Lauren goes, what?
Lauren, I'm telling you, I asked them afterward. I was like, did I do anything embarrassing? Like, was there anything you like had to do to me that night, like when I was asleep? And they like kind of laughed and looked at each other.
Wait,
like,
no,
nothing. They're like, no. Don't worry about it. Like, I probably peed my pants or something.
You wouldn't know that. Anyway,
Well, whatever. Okay,
you could probably ask them now.
I guess you guys are probably done shopping, but if you're getting gift cards, you're getting money for Christmas, I have a place that you've got to go rush to get the nicest flats and bags, and they have masks too now. You guys know what it is because I said shoes and bags, and you guys are loyal I Don't Get It listeners, and you know how much I love Rothy's. They are bags and shoes. They're sustainable. They're made from repurposed plastic water bottles and marine plastic. It's totally eco-friendly, and like I've said so many times before, they're so comfy, zero break-in period because they have this seamless knit to shape design. They are the only flats I've ever tried that don't cut up the back of my foot or like the front area by the toes. No indentations, guys. They have like nearly 3,000 perfect reviews on their best-selling shoe, the Point in Black. So start the year off right with the newest Rothy styles. They have new styles and colors and stuff that come out all the time.
And yeah, another thing about Rothy's is that they are fully machine washable. And what shoe can you think of in your closet that is fully machine washable? Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I never clean my shoes. I'm so disgusting. But the only shoes that I can clean are Rothy's because, like I said, they're fully machine washable. I kind of just like saying fully machine washable, but every time they need a refresh, you just simply toss them into the washing machine. It's that is why I love Rothy's.
Check out all of the amazing shoes and bags and masks available right now on rothys.com/getit. That's Rothys, ROTHYS.com/getit. Style and sustainability meet to create your new favorites. Head to rothys.com/getit today.
So, Naz.
Yeah.
What's your I don't get it this week?
My I don't get it. I don't get how I'm ever going to find a man. So I haven't told you guys this story because it's just like, I've told you a little bit of it, but.
Wait, there's more to the story that you plan on telling? Because I think I know which one you're.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So basically, if you guys, for the 10 of you that follow me on Instagram and know who I am, I uploaded a picture of me burning my eyelashes off again.
I love that post.
But I didn't really share like the story behind it. So basically, when restaurants were open here, I went on a second date with a guy. And I had just moved into my new apartment and he dropped me off and I was sort of deciding if I should invite him up or not. The reason why this was a very crucial decision mentally was because when I moved out of my old apartment, I looked back and I was like, all the men who've broken my heart in LA have been in this apartment. And I was like so happy in my new apartment, like saging it. Like this is the apartment where I'm going to find love, like new energy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fast forward, cut to like he's dropping me off. I'm like, oh, all right, like do I invite this guy in? Like, you know, it's like all new energy, new juju, like whatever. But it was like he was so nice and great. I was like, hey, do you want to like come up for a little? Because it was early. You guys know the sun goes down at 5. Yeah. So it's like literally like it was like 8 o'clock. Yeah. So he comes in and I have like this big painting hanging on the side of my stairwell because I have like a private entrance. And he opens the door and as soon as he closes the door, and this painting's like massive. Like think of like the really, really big ones at IKEA. As soon as he closes the door, we just hear like a boom, and like the painting just like fell. And I was
Which painting is this? Do I know what this painting is?
Yeah, it was the one that was in my kitchen before. It's like you know the one there's like a bridge and like a tree. Yeah. It was like it was popping in 2012. I don't know why. I just can't part with it. Too much nostalgia. Anyways. Cool. So I hung it outside. Anyway, so it falls, and all of a sudden, guys, I'm like, oh no,
bad juju.
I'm like, this is a bad omen.
Yeah.
So whatever. Is. So we sit on the couch, you know, we're talking, and you guys know I have those CBD joints from Lowell Farms that I'm like obsessed with, and I always like want to act like the cool girl, you know, like because I've sort of perfected how to like
want to relax.
I feel like I'm like a sock in South Park or something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, want to smoke a CBD
towel.
joint?
You're a towel.
Yeah,
You're towel-y.
Towel-y. Anyway, so whatever. And I've sort of perfected the way to light it with the match. It doesn't matter, but the match striking part is on the box. So whatever, like I put it in my mouth, I put it against the box, whatever. Point is, you guys know the rest of the story. I got too close. My hair falls in the flame and my hair catches on fire and it burns my eyelashes, some of my eyebrow, and like literally where people have baby hairs.
Did you see the flame?
I saw the flame and his eyes were so wide. He was like in shock. And I was like, ah! And I'm like,
oh my God.
Trying to put the fire out. Like, this is my life. Anyways, it gets better, and you guys don't know this part of the story yet. So basically, this guy wasn't my person, but he's so great. Like, still friends or whatever. And we were talking, and he actually met someone, and he told me he met someone. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And he was like, oh, could you be like any more gracious about it? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's so hard to connect with people. Like, he was like making a joke. And I was like, I'm genuinely so happy for you. I'm like, it's so hard to connect with people. Like, that's amazing that you like found someone.
He thought you're being facetious.
He wanted you. No, did he want you to be like, oh, more disappointed?
I don't know. Maybe it was like very sarcastic.
More disappointed.
Okay. This is all lost in translation over text. Like, this is how we communicate now. Anyways, you know, so I was like, all right, well, have fun, you know, with your new girl. I was like, make sure you send me a Christmas card to you guys. So this was like last month or 2 months ago. I don't even know. I don't even know what day or month it is. I get my mail. And this motherfucker sent me a Christmas card.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just too weird.
But it wasn't.
So weird.
No, it was, I think it's hilarious. It was him and his dog, not him and like a girl or the girl he met or whatever.
Like, which is asked you for your address?
He asked me for my address. It was so funny. But I was just like, this is my life. Like, I just got a holiday card from a man I've been rejected by. Is this like my post-it note?
That is like a very Sex in the City moment.
It was just so hilarious. So yeah, I don't get it is I don't get how I'm gonna be dating out here in these pandemics. But
Yes,
I
truly don't get how he sent
Are
you
you sure
a
he's still with
Christmas
this
card.
girl?
What kind of single man? Let's just pretend like he's single because like it's not been very long. Let's just say that he's single and he sends the Christmas cards. I mean, like I'm not no shame to those who do, but it's definitely not common.
I think it's really funny. I think it's been a hard year, and I think people are trying to find ways to just like lighten the mood. You know?
Okay, fine.
All right, so
Very
are we
sweet.
going to continue on dating, Naz? Like, right now, or
You know what's funny? So after that incident and like just my eyelashes, I was just sort of like, you know what? It's just like not in the cards right now. It's so hard to date. And then there was like another stay-at-home order in LA. But then it was so funny. I was like reading Forbes, actually. I just signed up for this new dating app. It's called Gleam. And it's really, really cool. It just launched in LA. So if you guys are listening, it's just in LA right now. But I hope it blows up because I think it's really cool. So I was like sort of just like, I'm not going to date anymore. But I think this is how I'm going to date now because you basically set your schedule when you like download the app. And when you match with someone, it like does all the work for you as far as like scheduling a date, and you can't message a guy. It sets you up on a 10-minute phone call with them first. And like the call legit, Lauren, has like a 10-minute timer. So it's like, you know how you're always like freaking out about a way out. Yeah. And it's like, I don't have to get all ready.
it's a FaceTime or no, it's a FaceTime.
No,
Yeah,
well,
it's
it's
a
through the
video
app,
call.
right?
Yeah, it's a video
Oh, it's a
call.
video call.
And it's such a good way to like screen your date because you know how you just sometimes you just spend like hours and days even like texting someone and then you can never meet them, whether it's because of the pandemic or because they just legit never ask you out. And so I just love this because I feel like it's like saving me from like wasting time from someone I'm not connecting with. But that's
because a lot of time it's about like someone's like inflection and like mannerisms, and you kind of like get to know what those are right out the way.
Exactly. And what I've noticed dating recently is I feel like everyone legit just puts like their headshots, like greatest photos ever, greatest hits on the app. And then you FaceTime these people and it's like, of course no one looks like that. Like I don't look like my headshot. You know what I mean? Like not over FaceTime anyway, or like a video call.
No, that's such a smart app.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's smart. I hope that goes
really
everywhere because
cool.
that'll save a lot of time.
Yeah, but I love that that like you can't like get stuck in that messaging limbo, or like you have to, you know, all guys are scared about like doing the face-to-face thing, or okay, maybe not all guys, but a lot of guys are scared to do that face-to-face
And
thing.
girls, I'm scared.
Fine.
Yeah.
And girls, you're right, and girls. But at least like now you're forced to do it before you can like go back and forth. That's
right. And
smart.
it's also the best way to date right now, like in LA specifically, you know, because like there's not much open. But
yeah.
Aside from that, Lauren, I'm not really like
Why
dating.
are you saying Lauren?
Because I asked.
Lauren asked me.
Oh, she asked about dating.
No,
Okay,
I'm
fine.
sorry. I didn't mean to exclude you.
No, it's okay. Insane fact, actually, and I don't get it. It's sad I don't get it.
Ooh, what is
30
it?
million women are impacted by weakened or thinning hair. That is horrible. Like, that sucks. Is there
What?
anything, hair expert, that we can do about this?
Well, one thing that I know works for sure is Nutrafol, and it's growing hair back on women in record numbers. It changes people's confidence. If you're using it regularly as instructed, you will grow thicker, stronger hair within 3 to 6 months. So you really should try it out if you're having confidence issues in your hair thinness or length. I would definitely recommend trying it out. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. More than 1,500 top doctors recommend Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair. So why not try it?
Yeah, and we all know healthier hair growth takes time. So you'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months, which is honestly like what now that we've been through the year 2020, like nothing, right? And every time
nothing.
when I make my cup of coffee and I'm like waiting for it to be brewed, I just pop in a Nutrafol and I just feel like I'm just, you know, taking such good care of myself and my hair.
You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and using our promo code GETIT. And new customers will get 20% off. This is the best available offer anywhere. It is Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, promo code GETIT. Plus, you can get free shipping on every order. So 20% off at Nutrafol.com, promo code GETIT.
But I was going to say, to tie it into what we're talking about today, I may consider after this podcast joining a throuple because I have always been fascinated by them. Ashley, I want you to like intro the podcast, what we're
Yeah.
talking about today. But I watched The Politician on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen it, it's like one of my favorite Ryan Murphy things that he's ever done. And at the end of season 2, I guess I just did spoil it, but there is a throuple in the show. And
Wait,
it is,
season 2 is out already?
yeah, season 2 came out this summer.
Of The Politician?
Yeah. What?
I thought The Politician itself came out like this summer.
No, Politician came
sorry.
out like...
This year went by really fast.
really
It went
fast.
by real quick, yeah. But anyways, it is fascinating.
Okay, so anyway, she brings up thruples because we're going to have my neighbors on there and on here. They don't even care that we are like not keeping them anonymous. They're my next door neighbors. They help us bring in all the packages and the mail, and they take care of our place when we're gone. They're fantastic neighbors. We're gonna have Doug and Riley on. They were part of a throuple as of like literally 4 weeks ago. They legit just basically
broke up.
dump their third member. But first, you guys didn't ask me what my
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your I don't
gallery
get
Oh,
it,
sorry,
Ashley.
Ash. What's your I don't get it?
Okay, mine is
That was a funny noise.
Mine is gallery walls because I love the look of them. I legit plan on having one pretty much in like every room of my future house.
They literally
Yeah.
look so clean, but I'm always like, I just feel like I can never do one on my own.
Well, okay, so so literally don't understand gallery walls, not because I don't get them. I think they're beautiful.
You have to be like a mathematician,
but you
kind of.
literally do. I'm just like, okay, so how do I know which ones go together and how far apart they go? And so I used Desenio recently, and that like solved that whole problem. It was so cool. They have there's on their website, they have a whole bunch of like gallery walls. You can just literally buy the gallery, and then they show you how you put them up.
Wait, that's genius. So like it genuinely measures it out for you. Like I don't have to take out my measuring tape to do it.
Well,
like, if I wanted to put it up.
I don't know if they have that,
But I think you can kind of,
you
like,
can,
eyeball
kind
it
of
if you
eyeball it
see, like-
based on the picture that they like provide, and then they extend you.
Right.
And sometimes then they have frames too, but they're these trendy, high quality Scandinavian prints, and like frames. And they have so freaking many options. It was insane.
There was like 5,000 options to go through. Like
You
could
know
literally
what's
put, like,
cool?
makeup, photography, blah blah
Wow.
blah. And, yeah,
We just got one for Lauren's room. It was like really dark,
Of course, because it's Lauren's room. The key to those walls, I feel like, are like mixing proportions of.
That's what it
frame.
is. Like they have like
It's
standard
like you want
size.
a small one, a large one, and it's like, but where do you put all these? Like,
Where do you go?
put them? I don't get how they figure it out.
No, like they have like all these different poster sizes, like standard sizes. Then they have like gallery wall templates. There's something for everyone. Like Lauren had dark, and then my sister-in-law, she recently got something from them too, and she had like beachy because their house is all nautical because my brother-in-law is in the Coast Guard.
Aw,
And
that's cute.
because I do love Desenio so much, I got a code for everybody. The code is I don't get it. You get 35% off Desenio prints.
Hell yeah.
It's valid until midnight on January 6th. The code doesn't apply to frames or hand-picked personalized prints, but they did hook us up with some prints, so we thought we'd hook you guys up with some prints. So
Yahoo!
thank you, Desenio.
Very nice. Thank you.
All right, well, let's get my favorite throuple on the phone. They're no longer a throuple, but you get the drift.
I know. I
The gist.
can't wait to find out what's going on. All right. Well, we got Doug on the line.
And there he is.
Hi, Doug.
Up, bitches.
Hi.
Hi, Riley.
Okay,
Wow.
so Doug and Riley, how are you guys?
We're good. We're surviving.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Surviving and thriving. So obviously Ashley introduced you guys, but can you guys explain from your point of view what is a throuple for people that don't know?
Well, we're not in a throuple anymore.
Right.
We're-
Yeah. I briefly told everybody.
We're in trouble just like almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally left. I was with him for 10 years. And so he just didn't put up with it anymore. And so he left. I mean, the throuple is, for us, it's still monogamous and shit. It's just we brought Riley in. And because we loved him and we fell in love with him.
A lot of people think a throuple is like polyamorous. You can go cheat with who you want,
Yeah.
but our relationship we were very loyal to each other.
Right. And we
just the three of us.
just really added him to the mix, and like it was like no different than like me and being together, and so it was fun. But you know, apparently he had some problems that we just found out about. But anyway, yeah.
So how long has Riley been in the mix for?
We're at January 9th. I'll be with him for 2 years. Yes.
Okay. All right.
New year, new
what?
eating habits, quite possibly, right? I think new eating habits. Well, when Jared and I travel a lot, well, you know, pre-2020, but it's a new year, right? We would always grocery shop for like too much, you know, and then like something would go bad in the fridge, and that was really frustrating. But we still wanted to have fresh food that was healthy for us to eat, which is why we've always loved Hellofresh, because like they portion control everything for you. You know, you buy the pack for 2-person meals, and then you don't have any excess. And I love that so much. I also love that HelloFresh offers 23 plus recipes each week. It's got a range of flavors, cuisines, and ingredients, so you never get bored. And what I also freaking love is that they give you basically like whatever your eating habits are. Like they have low cal, they have carb smart, they have vegetarian, pescatarian. And Jared and I, you know, we're not vegetarians by any means, but we try not to eat meat a lot, especially keep it in the house. So we get the vegetarian and pescatarian options.
Oh, I love it.
It's also nice that you have flexibility with HelloFresh. If you're not going to be there, if you're traveling, you're going away, you can skip a week, and then you can have 2 a week. You know, it's all up to you, and it's customizable.
And what I love about it is I'm obviously trying to avoid the grocery store as much as I can, because you guys know that I live in LA. So number one, that is a major plus. But 2, another major plus for me, ever since I started using HelloFresh, is that I've eliminated food waste. So I feel like I'm helping Mother Earth in a way. Like every time I go to the grocery store, I always buy too many of something that goes rotten, whether it's like avocados, lemon. And it's like so cool that they just give you the exact measurement of what you need to cook with. So I actually feel like a good person when I'm cooking with HelloFresh. So if you guys want to try out HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/10GetIt and use code 10GetIt for 10 free meals, including free shipping. Did you hear that right?
Yeah!
So it's
Very good deal, everyone.
Go to HelloFresh.com, 10GETIT, and use the code 10GetIt for 10 free meals, including free shipping. And don't forget, HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Okay, so just to clarify for our listeners, we have got Riley, who was brought in later, and then Doug, and he is no longer in the throuple. He was with Doug for 10 years.
Yes.
So you guys were together for 8 years by the time that you brought Riley in. So,
absolutely, and completely monogamous. We never did like threesomes or anything like that, ever. We just kind of randomly found him, and it kind of just happened.
well, how did it bloom?
How did it bloom?
Do you know Revolver down the street from us?
The bar, Revolver?
No.
I've seen, it's on Santa Monica Boulevard, yeah.
Yeah. So
So I was in my first throuple right before I met these two. It was very brief.
Wait, everybody wants Riley to join their couple. It's because he's so cute.
Have you seen him?
I know.
Can I get in on this? Damn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much money you have. So we were actually started at Mickey's. It's another bar next door to Revolver. And, you know, I've been around West LA for a long time. And so the guy that he was hanging out with was the waiter at Mickey's, who I didn't really care for that much. But anyway, so we met and I saw them and I was like, oh my God, they're so cute, da-da-da. And so him and I started talking, and then we moved to Revolver, and the conversation kept happening. And me and our ex-boyfriend said, "Oh my God, we got to get away from that horrible guy that's the waiter at Mickey's." You know, because he was just known for just not being a nice guy. And so we did. We exchanged numbers, but he was still hanging out with him, and then they went to IHOP.
Yeah, we were at IHOP one night, and I think
that was the same night. We went to IHOP, and you texted me, and you're like, "Hey, you're right. Can you come pick us up?" And so I sent to go pick him up, and they came back to our house, and he's never left since.
I think a week.
Wow.
Well, no,
And then
no,
they finally,
you actually did
after
leave.
Christmas time.
Yeah, because
They asked me like officially.
because you kept traveling and stuff, but he kept showing up at our door, and
So it was a mutual decision with you and to bring him in. Like you both were so down.
yeah, okay.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's do that. Okay, I'll just be completely honest. So
Yeah.
so
Initially, it was. That's what we were led to believe.
yeah, but okay. So like 3 years before, I just found this out. 3 years before, well, I didn't find out. 3 years before, he cheated on me. Okay, and of all people, I never thought he would, and so.
Oh.
But still, we got over it, and it was all fine and all good and stuff. And so then we met Riley, and he kept coming over, and like he was just a nice guy, and we just hung out. We hung out all the time, you know.
Right.
And so he went away to go to his family's at Thanksgiving or Christmas or something in San Diego, and we kind of missed him because he was over all the time. And so he actually brought up, he's like, "What do you think about this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I really like him." So we talked about it. We talked about it for like a month about like, what are we going to do with this guy, you know? And it's like, well, what do you think about bringing him in? And I'm like, what? You know? And I'm like, and I was like, well, fuck, he's fucking hot. Yeah, why not? And so we did, but we had a really in-depth conversations about bringing Riley in. Like we did, like how
You have to.
how it's going to affect our relationship. Like, you know, I don't like to share my toys with anybody. And, you know, I didn't want to share him. And, like, it was weird for, like, the first 6 months and stuff. But so I remember him and I were always communicating more than him and so I was...
With my last couple, one of them got along with and I got along with Doug the best.
Yeah.
And then I broke it off with them, and that was history.
And so I texted him. I'm like, hey, what do you think about being our boyfriend? He's like, what? You know? Like, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you serious? I'm like... He's like, well, let me think about it. This is when he was at his family's. And then he texts me back. He's like, yeah, I want to try this. I'm like, okay. And here we are 2 years later.
So how does one enter a throuple? I guess that's one way, right? Like
Very
one partner.
carefully.
Sorry? What'd you say?
Very carefully.
But are there different ways, Doug? Like, are there common ways, maybe uncommon ways? Like, if someone's listening and they're interested or hesitant, how does one join a throuple?
Well, I think there's people that are, there's people that are very polyamorous, and that's their thing. But we're not. Like, this is completely new to me. You did it once before,
like immediately before for a month.
Yeah,
so that's new to me too.
Yeah,
For a month?
Yeah.
So it's like nothing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you tried it, and then I got involved and got rid of that shit.
Okay, wait. How does the power struggle work? Like, Doug, you're older than and Riley.
You know, I want to be insulted by that, but
we won't say by how much, but like, were you the
but he's not as mature as he was. I'm a Peter Pan.
Okay. Were you like the patriarch of it? Was there like somebody who was more of like had more dominance in the relationship, or did you guys feel like you were all equals?
No, I
think still pretty equal. You were the balancer. Like when we got into fights and stuff, you would always try and work it out. But no matter where in the triangle the fight was happening, you'd always try and jump in.
Yeah, I felt like for a long time, I felt like I was the referee.
Okay.
And that's what started really draining me a lot because I was always a referee, and because him and I created such a bond because he was working so much. Like he was working during the day and he was driving Lyft and stuff. So him and I bonded a lot. Like we talked, we went on, we'd go walk around and do things. Like him and I, we just bonded like immediately. And he bonded with your other guy in Throuple. So they used to come over together and bonded with him and I bonded with Riley. And so him and I just connected. But when it started getting like progressively longer, I feel like any trip or anything, they get in a fight, and I was always like, what's going on? What's going on? So I was a referee, and like balancing that was very hard for me. But
Riley, did you have like the same strong feelings, for Doug as you did? Like, is it just like, equal three ways, sort of, when it comes to like spreading love or having attraction towards someone? Or do you think it's like more towards one, but like really liking the other?
Well, there's different love languages. And the thing about two boyfriends is that you can get different things you need out of a relationship, different parts of it from each person.
Absolutely.
And the nice thing was that if I get into a fight with Doug, I fuck off and hang out with Doug. You know what I mean?
It sounds like the best way to live life.
That sounds nice.
like I always say, like, when people ask me and stuff, I'm like, when it was good, it was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But when it was bad, it was fucking horrible. It was just horrible. But when it was great, it was like I was living my best life. We're all living our best lives, Mm-hmm. But it was bad. It was just like you don't know how to bring it out of the badness because there's so many personalities.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I think there was more avenues for me to like connect with Doug more because like we were both smokers, worked all the time, so I just had more time with Doug initially, and then that changed. But then the dynamic didn't change as much. Well, even though the time was available.
Well, I also think, too, him and I are very adventurous. And the reason why I liked Riley is, after a 10-year relationship, I kind of got in a rut. And he's a very homebody kind of guy. I mean, we're very well known in West Hollywood and stuff. But he just wanted to go to the bar. Now, he didn't like to go hiking. He didn't like to do this and that. And Riley brought me out of that comfort zone. Now we go hiking, we do different stuff. And when that happened, I think maybe he felt like he was left behind a little bit, because he just wanted to nest. He's like a legend. He wants to.
Also, he's kind of like heterophobic. He doesn't like hanging out with straight people. He only hangs out in West Hollywood because that's like his little safe haven of the gays.
And he's very popular here.
Yeah, so if we went anywhere else, he wouldn't be comfortable, and it was just.
And I am. I like
we
to
can
travel.
have fun wherever.
I like to travel. I like everything, and so it was like anytime we'd plan weekend trips and stuff. At the end, it was always him and I having fun and being miserable, and so I think that's why he eventually left.
So obviously you guys know that I'm quarantining and basically isolated, solo, alone now. And what's really been just helping me.
Sadness.
It's not. It's actually very peaceful to be alone, but it is sad that it's hard to see friends now. You know what I mean? Just because you're like, oh, who have you seen? How many people have you seen? That whole thing. But a way that I've really been staying sane and keeping my mental health in check is by meditating every day. I've made this my legit morning routine. I wake up 30 minutes earlier than when I'm supposed to, and I put on the daily. Let me see what it's called. The woman's name is Tamara Levitt on the Calm app. I use the Calm app, and it's so cool. Every morning, she actually records a brand new one. So every day, actual calendar date, there's a new one. Her voice is so soothing. They're always around 10 minutes long, so it's perfect. It's you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to sit still if you have a busy work day. If I have a Zoom meeting, it's not a long time. And I just close my eyes and I listen to her voice, and she always has a great message of the day. And it just really makes me so much happier during the day. But if you're not a morning person like me, you can also use it to go to bed. All of us love it. I mean, a lot of, we go to bed to Harry Styles and Matthew McConaughey's voice, but
right.
Yep.
2020
you have Laura Dern or Kelly Rowland in the soundscapes is what I really like. Just that it's really relaxing.
That's ocean, that's rain and stuff like that. That's my jam as well. I mean, besides the Harry Styles and the Matthew McConaughey. But what's insane, Naz, is that we're one of 85 million people around the world who use the Calm app to take care of their minds and get better sleep. And if any of you go to calm.com/getit, calm.com, CALM.com/getit, you'll get a limited time offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming. If you get the Calm app, you're going to experience a transformation in the way you sleep. So again, for our listeners, that's 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. New content is added every week. Get started today at calm.com/getit, calm.com/getit. So, let's talk about jealousy in the relationship. How often did jealousy come up?
I don't know. Were you ever jealous?
I wasn't really ever jealous. I think was a jealous one, but I mean, I don't know. Did you get jealous?
In the beginning, I did because, like, you know, I was this guy for years, and like I said, never in threesomes and stuff. And so I remember this one day, it was a Sunday. I went to go try to be romantic. We were all in bed together, and I slipped out to go get them sandwiches and bottle of champagne and stuff.
Aww.
Yeah, wait. And then I come back, and they're full on having sex. And I'm like, hello, what about me? And what my first reaction was like, this is weird. Like, I'm not used to seeing my boyfriend for this long doing that with some guy like I just known for 6 months, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had to set myself back. It was a little bit weird, like when I come home with her kissing and stuff. It was a little weird. It was totally very weird. But then I was like, okay, but I'm their boyfriend too, and so then they would invite me in, and it'd be fine, you know.
But I got jealous because I was coming into an already like well established relationship, so I was just like, oh, I'm happy to be a part of it, you know. So
right.
I was actually going to ask like how.
But I think mine was more like a power thing, not even jealousy. Because like I'm always like the older guy, like he's younger than me, he's younger than me. I think that's what was bothering me, not that. You know, like they were doing that. It was just like, hey, you're doing it without me, and I, you know, control that. Kind of
well, so is sex in thruples commonly always all done together, or you know, can you go off and just have sex with one? Or I know there's no rules. I don't know why I'm asking. Can you? So take that back. I just mean like, what is the common way to have sex in a thruple? I guess
I can't speak for other thruples because I'm not sure, but I don't know. You didn't really allow it. You didn't let you hook up.
Yeah, I did.
You got mad every time.
No, I didn't. The thing is, like, you and I used to have sex all the time with us, and I figured you guys were doing it too.
Double standard there.
No, it wasn't double standard. I just figured they were, and I didn't mind. It's just that it's just that if we're all three home, I would like to be included.
Oh,
that's very fair, Doug.
And so that's when I get upset. I'm actually cooking your breakfast, and you guys are doing nasty stuff in the bedroom. Can you wait until I fix you guys' breakfast? I just always figured that they were doing that, you know? Like you and I, when he was driving, we had tons of sex without him. And I just figured you guys were doing that when you were alone when I was out, you know? And I didn't care about that. I actually fantasized about that. But I hated when they were just like, okay, go fix this breakfast, and, you know, we're going to do it without you. Yeah. And I'm like, can you wait until I eat our sausage and then we'll do that?
Sausage. Yeah. That's a great thing to be cooking during this conversation. But, okay, so was there...
There's a little... Good.
Oh, I was going to say, was there like any sort of like times where you were more attracted to one and less attracted to the other, and there was preferential treatment in the bedroom?
I hate you right now. I hate you so much right now. You so much.
Why?
Okay, go ahead. You.
What?
Because of course you don't have to answer anything you don't want to answer.
No. I like the question. Ask the good thing because you didn't understand it.
I mean, I feel like I got a little bit of preferential treatment, especially because I was like the new one. I wanted to be like hung out with, and like got to know me.
I know.
So I got a lot of preferential treatment.
But she said, "Is there at a time that you're more attracted to one than the other?"
Yes.
My answer is fucking absolutely. Like, absolutely. I mean, like, I still find very attractive. Like, I just saw him the other day. I had to give him something. And he's a good-looking guy. I mean, I wouldn't have been with him for 10 years if he wasn't, But, well, what he said, as things progress, like, even like when like you said, we were talking about having sex all together and stuff like that. We'd all be in bed together. We'd have great sex. Him and I would go take a shower, and we'd come back and because, on himself and be like, "Let's go again." And we're like, "We want to go to sleep. What are you talking about? We're done."
Wow.
And
we're done.
We're done. We want to go to sleep. It's 2:00 in the morning, and we're done. But also, I mean, I think it also for me, I mean, there's a reason why I'm still with Riley and not with
And I'm trying to stop myself from like talking all this shit about him because I have a lot of hate in my heart right now because it's
because of the breakup. I get that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stop myself.
But I mean, I totally attract. I mean, hello, look at him, of course. But there's something. It's not about even his looks. It's about his personality, and he has brought out. He brought out the adventurous thing side that I kind of lost. Like I lost that for years because I didn't want to do anything.
Right.
And so he reawakened like who I used to be. And like now I want to go on trips. I want to fucking hike. I want to do this kind of thing. And I don't think that he realized what he was doing when he brought him in, that this would happen. No.
Yeah.
Right. I run a support group for people that are heartbroken, and I was telling Lauren Ashley before we started recording that like people have come to Heartbroken Anonymous who are mourning a breakup with someone in a throuple, and how that heartbreak can be really real. And I feel like I'm sort of sensing that from you guys in a way where it's like it is a real breakup when someone leaves.
Absolutely. I think we're dealing with it differently because they had a very bad breakup, even though it was like I feel like I'm still grieving over it, and which upsets him because, you know, he's been my best friend for 10 years. Like every day, waking up with him and coming home, like I expect him to come home every day. You know, I do. But they had such a bitter breakup and they did some bad things to him that I get where he's coming from. But for me, I just miss his presence, not so much the relationship, but he's just not there. That support that I had for 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're mourning basically like a 10-year marriage.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we're dealing with it completely differently because we actually had a talk in the car the other day. And I said, do you miss at all? And he didn't answer me for a while. And he's like, hey, you know, I totally would, but if you didn't do these things to me, I just so pissed off. And I'm like, I get that. And I go, because he really doesn't want me to have any interaction with him. And of course, but we're so financially tied up for after 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, we have to kind of split it up. And, you know, we have
Right.
joint bank account. We have, you know, we've lived in this place for 7 years.
That's honestly fine. It's just me being bitter.
I know, but it's like, I get what you're saying. Like, I wouldn't want that either, what he did to you. But for me, it's just like, I guess it's a constant, you know? You always have the constant thing around you.
It's interesting because I read this quote I wanted to read to you guys about thruples, and someone that was in a throuple said it's 4 different relationships, the 3 individual relationships, and 1 group relationship. So it's like it's almost like everything sort of on steroids, right? Like a breakup, and it's like the double breakup, you know, or maybe double feeling left out.
Well,
or double the love when it's amazing.
Double
you know?
the jealousy, double it all.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know. I'm not speaking for you, but what I'm like when I broke up, it's like, well, now I have to relearn a new relationship because I've never been in a couple just with Riley.
The dynamics totally changed with another person now.
Right.
Is the fighting less? Is the down? Are there less downs, more ups?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but what is the dynamic now?
Well, you know, I feel like we're relearning each other. I really do. Because there was that constant, I hate to say
Dark
this,
cloud.
negativity, dark cloud negativity of, that really caused me and him to fight. And you know, because of his negativity about, he always thought he was doing this or that, or wasn't in it to win it, or he's cheating. He was always feeding me in my ear that, you know, you start believing it, you know? And so I'm starting to have to relive, and relearn Riley. And he's a great guy. There's a reason why I'm with him. You know, I wouldn't have ever let him in my relationship unless I believed him, you know? And so it's just relearning, I guess I feel like we're relearning each other, and our boundaries and how to deal with each other, you know? Because we don't have that third thing in our ear all the time.
Your throuple lasted 2 years. How long do you think a throuple can last? Do you think that it can last
A lifetime?
A lifetime? Or do you think that they are more short term?
Oh, no.
So typically, the one in my experience that they're short term, but Doug knows somebody who's been in a throuple for
26 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're very well established. They're in their 60s. Well, not all of them are. It's multi-generational too. And they used to LASC clothing store up in Santa Monica. And they did it that long, and it works out well, and they're all very
And they
happy.
just sleep with each other.
I don't know their whole dynamics, but I just know that, I hang out with them all the time. They're very happy with each other, and, they seem like, they're in it for the lifetime.
Wow.
What's the difference between an open relationship and being in a throuple?
A lot of people get those two mixed up.
God,
Constantly.
especially at the bars.
Yeah. Oh,
Because open relationships is something that's also very common, I think.
Well, especially in
Yeah.
the gay community, definitely.
But a throuple, like we said, we are with each other, and people don't get that. Throuple maybe can start from an open relationship, and maybe can continue that way. So I guess there's some overlap. It's a Venn diagram, but what we define it as is a throuple is just a relationship between three people, and you can figure it out after the fact that if you want to have an open relationship, but at the very definition of it, I think it's just a throuple, three people in a relationship.
So do you think that throuples in the gay community are probably easier than in the straight community?
Well,
I don't really know. I'm trying to think I feel like yes, but I don't know. You guys tell me.
Well, I think so, too, because I just think in the gay community we're actually more open sexually
Yeah.
and more open in our mind. But I really think there's a huge disconnect in the gay community. Like I said, I was with for such a long time, and we're well known in the community, and we don't have a lot of couple friends. There's not a lot of couples in West Hollywood. Everybody's just trying to hook up, and they all want it, but they don't know how to do it.
We're just your straight-laced, boring neighbors who are asleep on the couch by 10.
I know, and I'm like knocking on the door, like, wake up, let's come on. And so when we brought Riley in, it was even shocking to me, like even my best friends, but I've known for years, would be like hitting on him. And I'm like, he's my boyfriend. What are you doing? He's my boyfriend.
Oh.
And they're like, well, yeah, but you're open now. I'm like, no, we're not open. We're not open. I'm like that bitch, and so
That's so
and he used to get really irritated because he would be like, your friend's coming on to me, like he's like, what's going on, and I'm like, I don't even know. It's just like people just have an assumption what a throuple is, and I think they just think it's like, hey, it's a free for all, and it wasn't for this.
What is the feeling like? Like, I guess I think this question is more for Riley, because Doug, we've heard from you, that you were in a relationship for 10 years and then, met the cute guy at the bar. Riley, you had done a throuple for the first time ever a month before you met them. So, like, what is the feeling like? Can you describe what it feels like to sort of be like, wait, I think I actually want to be with two people, not one? Like, when did you know that you wanted to, like, try out being in a throuple or being in a throuple?
What is wrong with you?
When I first, it wasn't really a feeling that I sought out specifically. I kind of fell into one because I was in an open relationship with a guy, and we both kind of mutually agreed to the decision with the first one. So I was like, you know what? I like trying new things. I'm all about throwing myself into situations where I don't know where I'll come out the other end. So I grow as a person. So
gets in so much trouble.
I don't know. I kind of felt like the shit at first. I was like, yeah, I got two boyfriends.
Yeah, it is the shit. And I just want to clarify. I asked not because I'm like, oh, how does it feel? I'm just thinking of people listening that maybe are torn or feeling certain things. I wanted them to be able to identify, because I remember I used to work with a couple that was married. I don't know them, so I can't speak to the situation, but I think she wanted to bring someone in. So for those people listening, what advice can you give them on maybe talking to their partner or wanting to join one?
There needs to be lots of discussion beforehand, and I would say don't go into it if there's a power imbalance in the relationship, because that will only widen the crevasse. A lot of people get into thruples for the wrong reasons. For example, thought I was a gift because he cheated or something like that. Some people, I feel like that happens a lot as well. Like, I fucked up. Let's open it up and see where it goes. So a lot of times those ones don't last. So there should be a lot of deliberation. Make sure it's really what you want in your heart, and make sure you're comfortable, and make sure you're not a jealous person.
And really talk about it.
Yeah, you got to.
Because like what you just brought up, I found out later, when he was always upset with him and stuff, and he's like, well, I did this to gift you because I cheated.
For his mistake.
And I was like, you never told me this at all. That's not why I did it at all. I fell in love with Riley.
And honesty is like important in any relationship, but in a throuple, like it is like the number one. Honesty and communication are like so much more emphasis is put on that when you're dating more than one person.
It's so much. It's like so much communication, and like
it's double the communication.
Oh my god, yes, because there's 3 personalities.
It's already stressful, like telling my boyfriend,
a regular
one person, like I'm doing this and I'm doing this, like don't freak out, whatever. But telling 2 people, making sure they're okay,
well, and
must be exhausting.
And that happens all the time too.
Yeah,
he would say something that he didn't tell me, and I hear from or he'd tell me something that he didn't, and then somebody was like, I didn't know about this. Why was I included? But in your mind, sometimes
I assume they're both one person. So if I tell one thing,
exactly,
yeah,
it's like
parents. Yeah, totally.
And I totally do that too. I'd be like, I told you both. He's like, no, you just told him. And I'm like, oh, I thought you were there. It's just
it's like just tell him that I said that, okay?
Yeah, it's like you always have to. One thing that was really completely different for me is like I'm just used to having a conversation with my boyfriend. Like an issue comes up or financial situation, whatever, and you're like, okay, can we sit down and talk about this? But we would have to have like meetings, like the 3 of us together, like everybody sit down,
all the council together,
and usually. Enoch would do that to us, and like we'd have to talk for hours. And it was like, and it's like I'm so not used to like having a formal meeting when you're just having a conversation, And so we used to have to do that all the time, right? It's so irritating. and so we were like, yes, we know, and he's like, no, but you're not understanding me, and we'd have to sit there for hours listening. And I'm like, we already talked about this. We're done. So we have to sit down and like have family councils, which is kind of weird for me.
But we kind of had to because
there's 3 of us. Yeah,
it sounds like communication's king. You guys keep saying there has to be like a lot of discussion. So like,
what is that? And I have to say we didn't do well.
Well, but it doesn't mean you can't. I want to know like what do you guys have rules? Are you interested in like opening it up to ever participating in being in a throuple again or?
I've never thought about that.
I'm a little bitter about it right now.
I'm pretty happy.
I know, it sounds like it.
It's so fresh.
I need a respite for a minute.
Yes.
No, and actually,
we have a joke. We have a joke because when he was 30, I came in. And we have a joke that when I turn 30, he's going to trade me in for...
It's like a Carly.
I always trade out, honey. Because I was never looking for a throuple, so I'm not looking for a throuple now. I just happen to fall in love with Riley. And
are there people that that are actively seeking throuples? Like, do you think that it's something that people seek or something that you just fall into?
I fell into mine.
Totally.
Yeah, but do we know people who are looking for throuples that are longer than one night?
Yeah, I mean, so because of my magazine stuff, I joined all these Facebook groups. And so there's actually a group called polyamory, and that's all they're looking for. They want a throuple. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess there are people like that. It's not me. I mean, like people ask me this all the time. Like, are you going to bring somebody else in? Or no, I'm very happy with just him, and I don't.
Likewise.
And I don't know. I wasn't looking for that when I first met him. It just really fell in.
It just happened, yeah.
I never thought I would ever do that.
Did we retire from polyamory?
I guess for now, yeah.
For now?
Okay.
For now?
Yeah, I guess we have Drake.
He's like, nothing's forever. That's so funny. So obviously you guys are fresh out of a breakup, but like this, you guys are one story. It's not like all throuples, are not happy in it, or it doesn't work out, what are the advantages to being in a throuple?
Go ahead. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's choice limit. You have a team behind you. You know what I mean? You got two people on your side most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
You're never lonely, probably.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Riley likes to travel a lot, as Ashley, you know, because we talked about this the other night. I mean, so I'm a Gemini. I'm a social butterfly. I don't like to be alone. Like, I have lots of voices in my head. And so to actually have somebody always around to do something like when he's gone or when he's gone, it's very pleasant to have somebody there. And I think what you said.
And even if one of us isn't getting along, somebody's getting along,
right? And you always have somebody to cuddle with. You always have somebody to talk to. You always have somebody to cook for. I mean, it's like you always have somebody, like you said.
If you have a lot of love to give, there are people that more like it's a perfect vehicle to do that.
Riley, earlier you talked about love languages. Was there somebody that satisfied one love language for you and another that satisfied the other?
Good question. They definitely satiated different wants in my relationship. I don't know if I could put them specifically to a love language. Satisfied more physical touch, because that was his. And what is like words of comfort and gift giving for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, because he tells me to show up to him, like, oh, you know what, you're gorgeous, and you're this. And he's like, stop it.
You know the people
he gets
on
tired of
the
my texts and poems and shit. And
the people on those message boards that you're looking at, they're seeking out throuples. What do you think are the personality traits, or like, why do you think that somebody would seek out a throuple rather than a couple? Do you think there's personality traits that that go along with people looking for throuples?
I mean, for me,
Weirdos.
Well, for me, I don't understand it because I don't seek that out.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seeked that.
No, I wasn't calling those people weirdos. I'm saying we're all weirdos.
Yeah. Sure. Good save. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe. I mean, there are people that are polyamorous,
They're like super into it,
right? I mean, that's just.
Did you guys see that article about there was like 19 guys living in a house in like Brooklyn or something, and they were all in a relationship?
That would be very interesting to read.
Is the address in the article?
That's a cult. That is not a cult.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, that's a cult.
So for me, I just
Next podcast, cult.
yeah.
Maybe
And I want to be on there, by the way. But,
maybe throuple is more of like a safe way to be polyamorous. Like you can trust everyone, but also have a little variety.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. But I also feel like you got to start somewhere, right, in life. And like, I think maybe if
you don't know what you want, I hope that doesn't come out the wrong way.
No, I get that.
You can explore your options while still being loyal to people.
Yeah.
Well, the thing for me is like when I see people, I feel like it's like they want their cake and eat it too. You know, and for me, it's like start with a couple and work that out and see what you need. But there are people that just want a throuple and a quadruple, and we've actually been approached with people like, I want to be the fourth, and many times they're like, can I be the fourth? And I'm like,
Do you know any quadruples?
I do not.
So I go to a few festivals and I meet these people, and they're usually well established. They've got everything they want in life, and a lot of those people they have like 2 wives or something like that, or a few girlfriends, and that's just because they've like solidified their life. They know what they want out of life. They're open about what they want to their partners, and they figured it out. And I think they won,
Yeah,
So
I mean, I have nothing against it as long as everybody's happy. I mean, but for me, and this is what I struggle with all the time because I am my age and I'm very kind of a little old fashioned. What's mine is mine, and mine. And
Like, I claim
mine. But I also understand that I opened this up. I opened this up to this thing. I did it, and it's very confusing to me sometimes, like why I did it, and but it did open my mind. I mean, and now that I think about it, it's like as long as everybody's happy and they talk about it and they all agree, who fucking cares? It's like good for you, you know?
All right, guys. Well, do you have any other questions? Do you think there's anything that our audience should know about throuples before you leave?
What's your words of wisdom, sir?
Words of wisdom about throuples?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been in one.
Apparently you've been in several.
Just goes back to what I was saying before. Just absolutely make sure it's what you want, and you should know yourself and know your partner and know your boundaries.
And for me, again, it's all about communication. And if your partners don't want to communicate, that's the hardest thing for me. It's like, because...
This is for the audience.
Yeah, I know. If your partners don't want to communicate, I don't think you should be in that throuple at all. It has to be. I mean, if you're in a couple, you know how communication, it's thrice that kind of complicated.
But I will say everyone should do it once.
I think it's too late for you, Ashley.
Yeah. And also, Christmas is probably fire. With a
Actually, it's not too late.
Oh my God, you're right.
I think Jared's hot. Hello.
I know.
Oh yeah.
So
that was
quadruple.
I have keys to your apartment. I'll be right.
Yeah,
I know. He'll be waiting for us in bed.
so funny.
It's so comfy,
so
by the way.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, we appreciate it.
Fun.
It was
You're
truly
really
fascinating.
Thank you guys so much.
Did you know that everyone has an aura? Do you know what color your aura is? Maybe you have a fiery red personality or a quiet and calm blue or green. You could be an organized and methodical yellow or an explosive purple. Come join me, Mystic Michaela, on my podcast, Know Your Aura, to find out all about how your personality can be explained in colors.
I don't get it.
Podcast.